Yesterday night, I had told you of a huge action by Yogi Sarkar. That is FIR on Twitter. The legal impact of that would be global. But that time we didn't have the details on all whom the FIR had been registered, what was in the FIR, whether it was on Twitter, some official, Twitter the company, Twitter the global. All that has been answered now. You were all asking what will happen to the people who have spread this fake news. What was the fake news? That an elderly man was beaten up and told to chant Jai Shri Ram by certain unknown people. So it appeared when they put out this news that the only purpose was communal violence to make an old man chant Jai Shri Ram. It was the Hindu mob, the violent Hindu mob, which did this. What is the reality? That came out with Ghaziabad police saying that this gentleman used to sell tabiz and he sold it this tabiz and some pregnant woman suffered unfortunate consequences. Her friends, relatives, family member, whatever, went and beat him up. And the people who beat him up were also Muslims. If a Muslim gets beaten up by Muslims for a tabiz, how can you defame Bhagwan Sri Ram in this or run your agenda on this? That was the situation before Yogi Sarkar's action. If you are joining for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, and if you're watching on Facebook, please like it. And today at 6 p.m. in Hindi, I will be with Kapil Mishra discussing Uttar Pradesh, conspiracy against Ram Bhaks, conspiracy against Hindus, etc. 6 p.m. on Hindi. So what happened? Twitter, now along with Twitter, let me first tell the FIR. The FIR is now on Rana Ayubb, a so-called journalist. It is on some Congress people, Salman Nazmi, Shama Mohammad, Maqsoor Usmani. It is on again a journalist, Saba Naqvi. With her on TV, I've had many debates and fights, and I've said that your views are always tilted in a direction which is very often not borne by facts. But you people all yesterday were asking, and that some Muhammad Zubair or something, Zubair. So you people were yesterday asking me, what about these people? What about the people who spread fake news? Well, Yogi Sarkar has taken action on the people who spread fake news. But to me, honestly, to you, these names may be more important because that was the questions when I was telling you about the FIR on Twitter. But to me, these names, while had to be put, are largely irrelevant. If not these five, there will be some other five. If not those other five, there will be some other five. And these people may well, frankly, they may well get sympathy or manage to fundraise out of this. But to me, as a lawyer, as somebody who understands the constitution, as somebody who understands how the system works, the big thing is FIR on Twitter Incorporated, that is Twitter Global, and Twitter India. Because whether it is Rana Ayubb or Zubair or Saba Naqvi, they have an agenda. This ecosystem has an agenda, and they will find more people with this agenda. But Twitter is a platform. And what has happened there is that fundamentally the law has changed. I shared an editorial I wrote for Navbharat Times. If you see the last paragraph of that editorial, this is exactly what I said. After explaining the entire law, I had given two suggestions. One, European Union, US has massive fines, not slap on the wrist, massive fines. $2.8 billion, $5 billion. That is 35,000 crores. 35,000 crores as fine on social media companies if they don't comply. Or step number two, Section 79, which gives them protection as is removed. This protection says you are only a platform. That is removed. Now you are not only a platform. Now you are liable. And what they have said in this FIR, you people, is this. They have invoked the sections 153. provocation for riots, 153A, promoting enmity between different groups, 295A, acts intended to outrage religious feelings, 505, mischief, 120B, criminal conspiracy, 34, common intention. Why criminal conspiracy? This is very important. The police has said that the tweets by accused had been broadcast on a large scale. The statements made through social media by the accused hint at a criminal conspiracy. The accused and other people tried to create animosity between Hindus and Muslims. The tweets were an attempt to destroy communal harmony. The false tweets had been retweeted by thousands of people. The accused include journalists and political persons who did not make an attempt to establish the truth in the case and spread false news. That is what they have been saying, that it was a dispute on tabiz and something happened to some, unfortunately, to a lady, and people who beat this guy up, were themselves from the same religion. So how could it be about a Hindu mob and Jai Shri Ram? This is about the people who tweeted, but as I'm again telling you, the people may be more interesting to you, but the bigger change which Yogi has done, the government has done, is making Twitter an FIR party, making Twitter an accused. And they said, despite Ghaziabad police clarifying the issue, A, the accused did not delete their tweets. B, Twitter did not make any efforts to delete them. In this case, the tweets were not verified, which gave a communal angle to the incident despite being untrue. So all of you who were asking what is the action, a very strong action has been taken on Twitter. The consequences of this, these people would be widespread. And now let me take some questions. FIR was, can Twitter still be prosecuted as FIR hold? It will be a fight. It will be a fight because it's a very good question, Shivam. Let me show the question. Would the FIR still hold? It's a very good question because the law up till now has protected Twitter. But an argument can be made, which I have been saying. If you read my Navbharat Times, just Google it. I have been saying that once Twitter starts behaving as an editor, by its own functions, it comes out of the status of an intermediary. Leave the rules. By its very own functioning, let's say a government servant has some protections, okay, in his public function. But does that protection extend to if he goes and commits a heinous crime, a rape or a murder? It will not. So that would be a big debate, and that's a very interesting debate. Let me take about Rohingya as a separate topic. What about Swara Bhaskar? Well, clearly, she is neither important to the movie world, nor is she important to the police. They ignored her. It just shows that she is, even in this list of fake news spreader, she is still not important enough to be even noticed. That's all I can say. So if the police doesn't notice her, Bollywood doesn't notice her, why should we notice her? So you have to be understand of that. If you have time, explain the international consequences. That's it. See, international consequences difficult to predict, but one thing is clear: there will be a big outcry. They would say you are attacking freedom of expression, freedom of speech. But I say, and also, when one social media company this happens, there are others which join in. It's a big lobby, as you know. They rule the world. They rule the space. We are right now also on one form or the other of social media. So outcry would be massive. I won't be surprised if elected leaders in US and European Union speak up. Especially they would be egged on by the entire lobby in India. This so-called liberal, which I call leftist lobby, champagne liberals, they would be wanting all the international links and favors owed to them to speak up. So it will be a big consequence. Let's see how it goes. But it will be big. Arnab Goswami have already answered. Should there be We have given them enough time. I think negotiation time is over. Yogi justifies our faith in him. See, you people are never satisfied. I've noticed this. First, when it was on Twitter, you said, "What on the people who spread the fake news?" To me, honestly, those people are 1/100th less important than Twitter. 1/100th, not even a comparison. Those people will come, some new will come, some new will come, because there will always be people who will be part of this ecosystem spreading fake news. So they are 1,000th as important as the FIR on Twitter. But you obviously relate to these people more. So yesterday, then I said FIR on Twitter, and these people were not even relevant to me, and I would have not even spoken on them. You kept on asking what is happening to the people who spread the fake news. So I've come and told you. Now you say what will happen to other states. Calm down. Take time. You always want next. Be sad. It's such a humongous change. Maybe I'm not able to convey it to you how big the change it is, that Twitter, which had immunity in all democratic countries since the very beginning, today will be if it is liable, you post something, Twitter is liable. Everybody posts something, Twitter is liable. It will have 10,000 cases on it in India if the intermediate status is gone. Please understand that. All right. All right. That's all I had to say. Very strong action by Yogi Sarkar. Now see you at 6 p.m. on the Hindi YouTube with Kapil Mishra, and we discuss all this and the entire conspiracy against Rambhaks. Take care.